Alright boys, welcome back to the channel. This will be a detailed guide for Labyrinth. Let's get right into it. The first three chapters you got Griamore, Hauser and Guild Thunder. The only two I suggest you to use are Hauser or Guild Thunder. I always pick Guild Thunder, but because it doesn't even matter. You got some characters you can pick on the left and right sides and some boxes. But there's an extra box on the left side, so we go left. So floor 1 we go left. The way I do this, the first floor I aim for 4 characters. I will show you how to do this. And for the passives, you gotta make sure you take passives that boost your attack. So everything that boosts attack, critical damage, critical chance of course, stuff like that is perfect. I will show you in this video how to clear it with pretty much any team actually. The fastest and best way to clear it. And then once you cleared it once, I'm gonna release a part 2 tomorrow. And I will show you how to get the best team then. So the team with goddesses, Mael. So here we got our first passive. As you can see, only HP increase. But the last one is a damage dealt increase. So we're gonna use that one. Because you wanna be sure to take the next character, you gotta go far left. So keep it on the left side completely or you will miss this character. So just follow the steps like I do it here and you will be able to get 4 characters definitely like I do here. So never reroll, just take one of the characters, don't reroll. I don't have any good characters, so I just picked this one. Doesn't matter actually, we're gonna have 4 characters anyway. On this one you can take left or right, but the left one is the best because ultimate move doesn't even matter. You're not gonna really use ultimate moves anyway. At the final bosses that you have to complete to get the currency for the shop, you can't even use ultimates. You get ults sealed for 2 turns once you get to ultimate, something like that. So you can't use ultimates anyway. I think this Labyrinth is actually the easiest one I've played. All the other ones I had to retry at least 10 to 15 times. This one I did it in 2 times. This was my second try and I did it. And then my third try I did a rerun and got Mael. So here we got another character. Again, we don't have anyone we can really use. I'm just gonna get Dead Pierce. We will do a bit more damage with Dead Pierce in the back anyway, so that's why I picked him. So as you can see, I'm not re-rolling even if the characters are bad, because I want to have 4 characters when I face the boss. Doesn't really matter which characters you have on floor 1. And once you get to floor 2, you aim to get Margaret and maybe Green Astarosa or Green Sariel. So the counter characters, they're pretty good. As you can see here, I have 20 for the currency for this shop on this floor, and you need 30. Don't ask me why, but the second one gives 5 only, and the first we will do here on the left give us 10 currencies. So you have to go far left if you want to be able to take another character. So don't heal here, go far left. So again, for floor 2, you aim to have Margaret, because Margaret is really important. You try to really get Margaret, even if you don't run a Mael team. Get Margaret with Purgatory, Meliodas and maybe King. There are a few units which you can use to clear this. So as you can see here we have 30. Now we're gonna do the final one, and this only gives 5. That's why I said to go left, far left, and don't heal on the last one. So you get enough points to be able to buy another character. This is the best strat for me, in my opinion, to clear it the fastest without having to restart it all over and over again. And then once you cleared it with the usual team, you just do a rerun like I will do in the part 2 tomorrow. I will show you my rerun with the perfect team and what it looks like to have a perfect run. And then you can use your Mael team to clear the dungeon bosses, to have the currency for the shop, so you can get the Mael costume. Okay, here we're at the final shop, so we get our last character and then we're at the boss. Of course we heal and then we go to the shop. As you can see, we only have 35 like I said, and it costs 30. I got Esterosa, which is pretty good. You will see Esterosa is crazy on this labyrinth, I don't know why. Esterosa is crazy, and Green Sariel. Green Sariel is even better than Esterosa. So if you can get Green Sariel instead of Esterosa, and then maybe Diane and King maybe, or Purgatory Meliodas, then you have a perfect team. You can also clear it with that team if you don't have Mael. But if you do have Mael, go for Mael. Mael is the best. You will see he will clear the final dungeon bosses in one turn. Except the final one, it's in 2 turns, but that doesn't matter. Mael is crazy for this. I think they made Mael so good just because they put his costume in the shop. So I think they made him the unit for this. And they deleted Escanor, the ultimate Escanor. So they didn't want you to use ultimate Escanor. So this time they made Mael the unit for Labyrinth. As you can see with Esterosa, it's pretty easy. Yes, we get attacked, but Esterosa just kills her. His counter is too strong. So she ulted on Esterosa, second turn, so she got her ultimate first turn. Pretty crazy. So we got ulted on and still survived. And she's dead because of the counters. Which is crazy. Very good. So now, on floor 2, as you can see, again, on the sides you can pick a character and then you got some boxes. But the shops, there's an extra one on the right side, so this time we go right. And this is good for us because we have to revive a unit, but that doesn't matter. You're gonna get new units anyway. The Guild Thunder, I'm not gonna use anyway. So here's the first one. And you see I got Diane. So Diane is pretty good. So if you get Diane, just pick her, don't get a reroll. Keep your currency for the shops later. We instantly get a second one. And now it is really not good, so I'm gonna reroll once. And as you can see, it's not good again. I was gonna try out Droll here, because Droll is passive, is actually pretty good for this. We'll put a debuff on the enemy once they get the ultimate, and they won't be able to use the ultimate for 2 turns. Sometimes they will remove it, but what I noticed, once you remove the ultimate gauge from the enemy, it restarts. So once he gets the ultimate again, it will again be sealed for 2 turns. So actually Droll was a interesting pick, and he was surprisingly good. He doesn't do a lot of damage, he's really not a damage dealer. But his passive was actually pretty good in some occasions. So you will see here, even with units like Droll, Diane and our counter units, Esterosa, we can do it. We don't have any damage dealers, but luckily Diane has the ultimate with the heal, so she can heal the team a bit. And Diane, once she gets attacked a lot and she has her stance up, her damage is pretty good too. So yeah, actually good. I wasn't expecting this team to finish the whole thing, but in floor 3 I was able to get Margaret, so once you get Margaret it's over. You won for sure, so you can clear it, and then next time you can restart with Margaret, so you have her for sure, and then you can work around her and try to get maybe a goddess team or a semi-goddess team with Margaret and Purgatory Meliodas. You can do that too. But in my opinion, the best team is with Mael. The only thing that was pretty good was the critical chance increase, so this is the buff we took. As you can see in the first box, we can't buy a unit, but I'm not gonna buy anything just so I can buy the unit on the next boss. So here I'm gonna go left and level up. Pretty straightforward and actually pretty easy. I think most of you guys will be able to do it. Of course, keep in mind guys, if you don't have a certain unit, you won't be able to use it in the Labyrinth. So if you don't have mael, you won't be able to use mael. There was a little misunderstanding before. I thought you could use any unit, even if you didn't have the unit, but that's false. You can't use any other unit than the units you have. I think the only units you might not have, but that would be very strange, are the units in you start with. So the 3 units at the start you might not have, and they will always be the same. But once you start the Labyrinth, the units you get, you can pick, are only the units you have. As you see with this team, it's a bit slow and it takes a long time, but yeah, that's just the way it is. At least we can finish this. I always tell you guys to awaken instead of leveling up, because awakening is always 2 stars and we didn't awaken once yet. And then we just had enough to buy a unit. That's why I didn't use any of the currency. But as you can see, we didn't get any good units. So I'm just gonna see if there is a good passive. And this is pretty okay. The passive, the one at the top, but it's not good enough. So the one at the top was pretty good. We would have done a bit more damage, but I chose to awaken +2 my units, because awakening helps to do a lot more damage, really helps a lot. You should aim to awaken at least in floor 3 to have 2 red stars on your characters at least to get to the top, or else it will be hard. But if you follow everything I do here, you will get it, no problem. Also, don't forget, we just lost our Astrosa. Don't forget, guys, it doesn't really matter which units you got. The best is to have a counter unit at the end of floor 1, or at least at floor 2. But the most important part is floor 3. You need to have a cleanse unit, like Margaret. She's the best, because she cleanses and she gives an attack buff. And you need to have a damage dealer. As you will see here, I will be lucky enough to pull some units which I can use to clear it. But I don't have big damage dealers. That's why I'm just showing you normal teams can also clear it. But then you will have to do rerun, so you can get some buffs and some extras, and you can use one of your units, and then you can get the best team, so you can clear the bosses at the end. Or else you will have a hard time, because the bosses, they hit super hard, it's crazy. So you will have to try and kill them first turn. The only one you can't kill first turn is the first one. He has, I don't know, some kind of damage reduction. And the last one, the dragon, of course. And the dragon, once he uses his flame and you are debuffed, he will do a lot of damage. He one-shots your units. The only unit he doesn't one-shot is Mael. But it's crazy though. And there is a pretty crazy passive. Guys, there is a passive. You will see, I will get the passive, I think in this run. And it's a passive that once you get 10% health, it will fully heal you and then cleanse all the debuffs on you. Very good passive. It will save me from time to time at the end. I think it's on this part I will get this passive. That's a really good passive too. And for the rest, the passives you need to get, it's only the damage dealing passives. So critical chance increase, damage dealt increase, attack related stat increase, stuff like that. And once you do the good run to get your mael team and the goddess team, the best thing to do is the 100% or 150% attack increase for goddesses. That's the best thing you can get. I think 100% is the max, I don't know, maybe 150. But that's the best to do more damage with the mael team. But as you can see here, I don't get those kind of passives and I don't take them because I'm not aiming for a full goddess team yet. So this is just a normal clear on all 3 floors. So we can start the next clear with a better run and with one of the units we already had. As you can see, we still have the same units and we cleared floor 2 no problem. The only one that changed was Droll, of course, but the other units were still the same as floor 1 and we could clear floor 2 no problem. It's a really easy labyrinth this time. Okay, floor 3, again at the sides you can pick your units and then there are the shop boxes, and as you can see on the left side this time there's an extra one, so we always go left on floor 3. And this time if a unit is dead he will stay dead for a while unfortunately. So this is where some people might die, but if you have Diane you won't die, don't worry. Diane is pretty good at tanking. And a pretty good unit is King 2, I mentioned him before. King, once he uses his attack and his shields, they won't even get through the shield. It's really, really crazy. So King is a really good option too. But the most important unit, especially for floor 3, is Margaret. Because Margaret is clutch. Because the boss on floor 3 is Gother, and he will attack seal you every turn. And he always will remove the ultimate gauge once you get the ultimate, of course. So that's a pretty annoying boss if you don't got cleanser. That's why I tell you guys to get Margaret. Okay, killed this boss, easy. Merlin was pretty easy. I think she's the easiest boss of the 3. Of course, you pick Awakening and you stay on the far left side so you can pick the units. So here we pick another unit and here we got Margaret and we also got Green Sariel. But you pick Margaret over Green Sariel. Okay guys, Green Sariel is crazy good, is really good, he will help you a lot. But first get Margaret. If you get Margaret and Sariel like I did here, get Margaret. She's the one you need. And I think most of you guys have Margaret, I hope so. So Margaret is the one here. I already knew I was gonna win this one. Very sure of it. You will also see on floor 3 here, the enemies will constantly debuff you. And once you're debuffed, you take a lot more damage. I don't remember the units I got afterwards. We're gonna see after. But it didn't matter because the only unit I was gonna reuse was Margaret anyway. But I was hoping for another good damage dealer because I don't have any damage dealers. Luckily I do have Diane, and Diane tanks a lot. Pretty good. We can go left or right, but this time I'm gonna go right because I have 70 currency, so I have more than enough currency for the shop. That's why I just healed. And now you have to go left, don't go right or straight forward, just go left here so you can get the box, and then you can get another character, another unit, and this is the box is where you hope now that you get mael. So in this box or the last box you hope to get mael, of course, but this run I didn't get mael. But it didn't matter, I still cleared it. And this guide is just to show you guys you can clear it with other teams, and actually pretty easy. Because I don't even have good passives and very good units. The only good unit I got, of course, two were Diane and Margaret. But even with bad passives and not the greatest units, you can still clear it. If you just follow the steps I do here, you will definitely be able to do it. And tomorrow I will release the second part of the video where I show you the perfect run with mael team and a full clear on the bosses, the underground bosses, the dungeon bosses. So here we had the box, and in this box you can't get a unit, I forgot. This box you can't get a unit, so I get a passive here. Okay, this is okay. If an ally dies, you will get 30% more attack rated stats, which is pretty good. So I will take this one and I will use an awakening +2. Only use these two. If you buy something else, you won't be able to buy the unit. So just buy these two and you will get an extra 10 here, or 5. You will get, yeah, an extra 5 here. So you will have 30 currency. So you will be able to buy the last unit. If you follow all the steps like I did here and don't start re-rolling every character because you don't like the characters you get, you will be able to do it the same way I did it here. If you start re-rolling, especially at floor 1, you won't be able to get 4 characters, so don't do that. You might start re-rolling at floor 2 at the end, or maybe floor 3, but that's it. But don't re-roll too much. You can start re-rolling once you do a second run. Once you cleared all 3 floors and you do a second run with one of the units and one of the passives, then you can start re-rolling more, not on floor 1 but on the next floors, floor 2 and floor 3, just to get mael, just to be sure. Okay, we're at the end here. As you can see, we have 30, so just enough to buy the last unit. Here we heal, but it doesn't matter. And now we get the final units. I don't remember which one it was, so let's see. Okay, yeah, it was Tarmiel. Okay. So I put Tarmiel instead of my Astarosa because Esterosa was dead anyway. So I just wanted to be sure to clear. Even if just one unit survives, it doesn't matter. We're not gonna use this team to clear the dungeon bosses. But you do have to save the team at the end. Even if just one unit survives, doesn't matter. Save the team at the end so you can reuse the team to do another run. You can use a unit, not the whole team, but a unit of course. And this is Goter. This is a nightmare for a lot of people, especially if you don't have a cleanser. That's why I said Margaret is the king here. So you need to get Margaret. Because Margaret is key here. The cleanses are just too OP. As you can see, the first turn I didn't even use the cleanse because I wasn't attacking. I was just getting sure to get the ultimate from Diane, and so I could remove the ultimate gauge from the boss too. So now we got the ultimates, we ult, we do some good damage, and then you will do a lot of damage with the single targets from Diane. So as you can see, I don't have a real damage dealer because we have Margaret and the cleanses. The attack card from Diane is pretty good. But as you can see, we weren't lucky. We weren't getting any cleanse cards. So I was trying to use some cards or just release some cards that I could get the cleanse cards, but I wasn't lucky. So here I was pretty lucky to get the ult again, because again I don't have a cleanse card. It's all about luck, guys. As you can see, if you don't get any cleanse cards, Margaret isn't even useful. You need to get cleanse cards. But I was playing it safe. I was getting the ultimates so I could do damage. Oh damn. This time, before I could use the ultimate, he died, which was unfortunate, but that doesn't matter. I think this time I got a cleanse card. Yeah, I got 2 cleanse cards, so finally. I was going crazy, I wasn't getting cleanse cards. Really annoying. So here we finally cleanse. And then I think we even kill here. Oh no, yeah, Goter has a revive. He will get revived with half of the health. So we kill here. I didn't know, look at the damage. 300k, bro. With the Margaret level 3, rank 3. The rank 3 Margaret card was crazy. I didn't know the damage would be this crazy. If I knew, I would have kept the card to do the final damage here. So now I have to stall a little bit more. Again. If I have knew this, I would never use the card for that little bit of health. So yeah, unfortunately. But it doesn't matter, we still killed. And we lost only 1 unit. It's pretty crazy actually with this team. You can see the team is not crazy at all. It's only Diane, Tarmiel, it was Green Droll, and of course Margaret, but we didn't get any Margaret cleanse cards. So even without getting it, we did it, guys. As you can see here, I have a safe team because I cleared it before. I already had Margaret. So I'm not gonna save the team, but you guys, once you clear it, save the team so you can reuse Margaret on your next run. And that was it for you guys. I hope the video was helpful. If it was, please like, subscribe, and click on the notification bell. See you next time. Peace out.